Hey, hey, it's Danny in action. In action. Did I just say my own name wrong? Danny in action. So, we are getting started late today. My schedule changed this week, but it kind of changes from week to week. I'm super cool with that. Hello, Death is the Dream. You know, Death is the Dream, I feel like I was channeling you coming in today, or I was just channeling the word dream. I was just like, what? And I say channeling lightly, like I'm not intentionally. Hi. So many friends. I'm so excited. Okay, let me see. Hi, Death is a Dream. Hi, Alfredo. Hi, Jared. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Rebecca. Nice to see you all. So, we are going to start off with readings for the collective. And today I feel a little like, not exactly chit-chatty. Like I don't feel like I want to talk a lot, but I do feel like there's stuff I want to talk about. I saw Sarah bites back. I saw your name and I said back. Hi, Sarah. Nice to see you. Glad you're here. So, I don't know if you guys are all feeling this, but today and like honestly for the past couple of weeks, I've been feeling feelings in my heart chakra and kind of like a dull ache like in my heart, and I don't have any health conditions that would warrant that, and they're not really coming in times of anxiety or any particular emotions or anything. So I feel like that's something that is going on with the collective, is some heart chakra feelings going on or healing going on. So I'm not sure if anybody else is feeling that, but I just feel like we're all a little, I want to say heavy, but I don't feel like heavy is the right word. So let me shuffle these up. I feel like there's a lot that's on our mind. Yes! Okay, cool. It's not just me. But yeah, if you're agreeing or vibing, you can send emojis. I will see that. Yeah, it's in my heart chakra, and then I personally have issues, root tendencies. I felt as if it was just some heaviness. Yeah, so I think it's like something that's coming to light, not only to be, it doesn't feel just heavy. It feels like heavy, but like there's also like this release in a way, and I mean that makes sense with our moon phase right now. We're going into the new moon, which means the moon is like disappearing, quote unquote. So we're in a time of release. We're also coming to the end of the year, so we're all releasing a lot. So I feel like it's just bringing up a lot of stuff. And also, I'm just going to talk about some things that I've been experiencing lately to see how that feels for everybody else. I've been feeling, okay, so my root chakra today was like really needed my attention, but then when I was giving it my attention, it was like, no, I'm too scared, I don't want to talk about this. So I'm feeling a lot of insecurity in the root chakra, and that's like our stability and our sense of safety. So I'm feeling a lot of insecurity in that area. And then found out that president is being impeached, so I mean that totally makes sense, and Bahati Life has been talking about that for a while. Bahati Life is another reader. But yeah, so I'm feeling a sense of insecurity. You know what's funny is right as I said that the president was impeached, the justice card fell out. I'm just gonna leave that there. Leave that thought. Just think about that. Also today in my own personal reading, I got like, what do I need today? I've actually been taking care of my sick baby sister. She's not a baby, but yeah, I've been taking care of her. So I was like, what do I need? I need to like focus back my energy back to me. And part of what I read for myself, I got that I'm not focusing on money today, not focusing on material things, and focusing more on emotions and emotional connection. And that was super accurate because that started happening before I even, hello Johansson, that started happening before I even did that like root chakra, wait, no, I did the root chakra meditation and everything before I pulled the cards. Then the cards just like validated it. But yeah, so I feel like that's all happening for the collective, and I'm starting to realize now these sensations and things that are happening for me are not just for me. So it's cool. You guys get like getting a front row seat to me learning and growing in this spiritual realm, and etc., etc. So we are going to start with reading for the collective. Let's just get a general collective reading, kind of based off of what we were talking about. I'm assuming that that's going to come through. Actually, though, hold on. This is my ocean spray. Use that for cleansing. Hello, Air Musings. It smells so good. I put lavender and lemon essential oils in it this time. I've like really deep dived into using essential oils lately, and I'm excited about it. I'm really liking it. All right, so messages for the collective. And that's for anybody in this room. That's for anybody who's finding this later. Whatever we need to hear. Whoa. Okay, we're gonna go with the ones that fell out. All right, so we have the Ace of Wands, Two of Wands in reverse, very interesting, Page of Swords, and the Hierophant. Hierophant? How do you guys say it? He or hi? So it's interesting to me that we got the Ace of Wands and then the Two of Wands in reverse. So it's like we have these ideas, but we're not ready to put them out into the world. Like we have this course of action that we're thinking about taking, and that's totally relevant for me, but it's not time to go out into the world. It's not time to put the ideas out. It's not time to take action on it. It's still just a time to think about what the action is. Think about what it is that you want to do. Some of us are going to be taking leadership roles in 2020, I'm guessing. Like, I feel like this is more like just a general going into the new year. It doesn't feel like it's for just this week. This isn't the weekend energy. This is just general what's going on. So I have the Page of Swords also. So we have the Ace of Wands, Two of Wands in reverse. So that I feel like is like the action. And then we have the Page of Swords, who I feel like is, first of all, you can get messages with the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords might be a person that comes into your life and has messages for you. But in this case, I feel like it's your own thought. And I see the Page of Swords kind of as like a teenager. So kind of stepping back and thinking about, okay. So like thinking about your ideas and your action steps and the things that you want to move forward with, especially if you are thinking about taking a leadership role, a teacher role, a more responsible role, or a prominent role in your life, in your society, in your workplace, etc., etc. It's thinking about all of this, thinking about it as like what is possible, and allowing your mind to really expand and take in the messages, not only from other people, but also from the universe, and see what synchronicities are happening for you. And I'm feeling like I need to stop talking now. So we're going to move on. So that is just a general little check-in. We have a lot of energy moving forward. We want to move forward, but it's not time yet. We still got to sit on this. I mean, we are, like I said, like a lot of us are feeling a heaviness right now and are feeling a need to release. So that Chariot in reverse was on the bottom of the deck. So I feel like that's telling us like, hold on, hold back, hold the reins. We're not moving yet. We're just thinking about it right now. Our foundation's feeling a little shaken up, so it's not necessarily a great time to start a new project, but it is okay to start thinking about it. Hello, Ash and Passion. We are going to dive into our collective weekend reading. And if anybody has any questions, go ahead and type them in. I feel like tonight's like a little more chill. Not really feeling like I'm going to do too many readings, but more in depth and talking about the stuff a little bit more. And you guys are welcome to talk back, ask general questions, or tell me how you've been feeling. Ooh, that's super interesting. Hold on. All right, so we had our 3, and then we had more come out, and the Hierophant came out again. So something is happening with teachers in our lives or us taking on leadership roles in our lives. And I feel like in this case, in this particular weekend, it's going to have to do with the leaders around us. So this might be a leader in church. It might be a leader at work, a leader at your child's school, a leader at your school. I don't know what everybody's situation is. Okay, so we have the 10 of Wands in reverse, the King of Pentacles, and the 4 of Cups. So, let me break this down. It's a lot going on. So, a lot of us are tired. We're coming to the end of the year. I think of 10 as December because Deca 10. It throws me off when I learned the months, how they originally were like 1 through 10. Hello, Bree. When they originally 1 through 10, and then somebody just decided that we needed to add July and August, and now all of the numbers are off. So now December is 12, even though the Deca is 10. But I see this as us being done. We're ready to let go of our burdens. And if you look at, he's reversed, so it's like all of the sticks are just going to fall. Like you've been carrying something for a long time, and it's time to release. It's time to let it go. It's time to become the master of your own financial well-being, taking the reins on that. I know around Christmas season, a lot of people are worried about spending a lot of money, and this is like telling you to take control. Also, maybe seeking a person who has a lot of experience in finances and getting their advice. And then I also see that we are rejecting some gifts right now. There are things that are coming to us, and we are not being open to the universe. We are holding ourselves back. We're thinking about it, and I feel like we don't feel like we deserve it. And I want to just make sure that everybody knows that when you release, when you let go of all this baggage that you've been carrying, all this pain and all this hurt, old stories, negative thoughts about yourself, toxic patterns of beliefs about yourself. And also, I want to say this also, it's not cups, but this one makes me think that this has to do with some pain from old relationships that you're still holding on to and you don't need to anymore. You can let this go. And when you let this go, you make more room for yourself to receive from the universe, receive from other people, receive emotional fulfillment. This could be in work as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be in romantic relationships, but right now we're rejecting the gifts that are being sent to us. So somebody might be getting synchronicities about a job, and because we do have the King of Pentacles, it makes me think that at least one person is experiencing something about a job. So in order for you to receive, you have to be willing. You have to be willing to accept the gifts that are being handed to you, because we can talk about manifesting all day long, but until you feel like you are worthy to receive the gifts that are being sent to you, so needed to hear this right now. Glad, Ash and Passion, that you're hearing what you needed. But until you're ready to receive the gifts, it doesn't matter. They can put the gift right in front of you, but you're just going to be like, oh, no, that's not for me, and walk right past it. And after a while, the universe and people around you, like even a boss, is going to be like, okay, well, I'm not going to keep handing you things because you are obviously not appreciating it. You're not taking this on. Jared is trying to find a job now. So absolutely, yes. So Jared, I also see this if you are searching for a job, for anybody who's searching for a job. This card is about things being handed to you. And yes, there are all these options, but there's one being handed to you right now. But you have your eyes closed. You don't see the opportunity that's right in front of you. And maybe it doesn't look the way that you thought it was going to, but that doesn't mean that it's bad. It doesn't mean that it's negative. It just means that it's different. And life is always different than we anticipate. Life does not go according to plan. So that's why I see this King of Pentacles coming in. So the King of Pentacles could be the one that's handing you this gift, this opportunity, especially if you're looking for a job opportunity. It could be a person in your life that is very good with their finances. It could be the CEO. It could be a boss of some sort, somebody that can put you in a good financial position, but you have to be willing to accept and you have to be willing to receive. You might have a tumultuous relationship with this person, and that's why you don't want to, but it's kind of about putting that aside and doing what's best for you, opening your eyes. And then we have the Hierophant again, and the Hierophant kind of came out close to the Six of Cups in reverse. So again, I see this as not being open to receive. Because if you look, these children are sharing and receiving. This is also about nostalgia and looking back. So it might be looking back at some old lessons that you learned in the past from somebody that was in a position of power. So like an old teacher, perhaps you had that like really inspiring high school teacher or whatever grade teacher or professor, or you were close to somebody in the religious leadership roles, and looking back on their messages, learning how to receive, finally receiving their messages might start to hit now as you're getting older and more mature and wiser and starting to understand the world and how everything works. And now the lessons that they were trying to give you are starting to make sense. Once those lessons make sense, that also I see is going to be helping with your sense of self-worth, with your willingness to be open and to receive, especially if you think religiously. Like if you're thinking about, because I was raised Catholic, I don't ascribe to that right now, but I was raised Catholic, so I do have some knowledge of Jesus, God, Mary, all of that, and we're in the season where religious affiliation is starting to come up because of Christmas and Christmas, and that's a whole nother thing. But I forgot where I was going with that. Jesus. I knew it had to do with Jesus. Jesus treated people differently than everybody thought that he would. Everybody thought that he was going to be like above, and especially for those that are looking for jobs, taking a different approach, flipping it on its head, taking in the lessons from that religious context of Jesus was friends with lepers and whores and prostitutes and said, like, whoever is without sin, cast the first stone. So he was different than anticipated. He didn't try to fit into what people expected of him. He did what was right for him. And that's what I'm saying for everybody else, is that you need to do what's right for you. So also with this Six of Cups in reverse, I'm seeing inner child work. And my heart is like really aching right now. I don't have any specific memory or concept that's tied to this card, but the inner child work is really relevant right now. And I think especially with the holidays, you're coming around family, you're not coming around family. Maybe there was a toxic situation and you're no longer around those people. I know I lost, I'm going to try not to get emotional, but I lost my dog 2 years ago around this time. So that's hard for me. And it's looking back and healing, especially because we were talking about the heart chakra and the root chakra, and looking back and healing the child in you. Not only the child that you physically were and that you were in the past, but there still is an inner child within all of us. There still is a part of us that needs to be nurtured. And in our root chakras, that's where, for me personally, I'm going to get personal. For me personally, I feel like my root chakra is like trying to reach out to other people and get that stability. But that's where I come in, and I need to parent myself and talk to my inner child and tell her, no, you're safe, you're fine, like, I am here for you, I am your anchor. You don't need to find somebody else to make you stable. Like, you are stable in yourself. You can be that person for you. So yeah, so the inner child work, it might actually be something that you did experience as a child that needs to come up and needs to be healed and be discussed before you can feel that sense of self-worth in yourself. Self-worth in yourself. That sounds funny. Yeah, I feel like that message is done. That's what everybody needed to hear. So, if you guys, that was supposed to be about the weekend. So, this stuff might be coming up for you in this weekend, especially all that job stuff and all of the, like, an opportunity might be handed to you and it might not look exactly what you thought it was going to look like. So in order to get to that opportunity, you might need to be doing that inner child work. That's all for the weekend, for the Wednesday through Saturday. So if nobody has questions, I'm going to keep doing readings for the collective. I have a few ideas that I've been thinking about doing for the collective, but have not done that. Here we go, Rebecca. So go ahead. I think you're saying you have a question. Go ahead and type in your question. So today's readings, I'm going to be less focused on donations and paid readings. I'm probably just going to be doing free readings, and if you guys feel called to donate, cool. I know that it's... No, someone called and I could find the video again. All good, I am listening. Do you have a question, Rebecca? You can totally put it in. But yeah, so I'm going to put up my tip jar. And you can tip if you want. I'm not like all over the paid readings today. I just feel like this is more like a... Oh, okay, Rebecca doesn't have a question. Okay. Oh, I flipped you. Yeah, I feel like today is more about talking, and I don't know. I don't know if it's necessarily getting to know each other or if it's just like creating community within the collective. So if there's anything you guys want to talk about, go for it. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep chit-chatting, and I might get off early if we're not feeling it or vibing it, because my energy has been more like internal. I don't know if you guys have noticed. I love what you do. Thank you for that. Thank you, Becca. So yeah, so my energy has been more internal. I feel like there's a lot brewing under the surface right now. Probably not just for myself, probably for a lot of people in the spiritual side of things or in this industry, because it is an industry and there is like marketing and all that other stuff that we have to do. Don't know where I was going with that. So yeah, my train of thought is kind of all over the place today, but I'm feeling more internal and not like talking as much. So I'll let you guys kind of steer the conversation. If there's something you guys want to talk about, I can show you my crystal babies in the meantime. Why does kindness make me cry? Dude, yes. I'm vibing with that and feeling that right now. I feel like it's... I'm just going to speak on it for a minute, but I feel like it's... context is absolutely available if needed. So hold on, let me just chit-chat about it for a second. So I feel that kindness makes us cry because crying I don't necessarily associate with sadness. I just feel like it's associated with an overwhelming emotion that our body needs to release because it is so rare. Yeah, true, deep, like heartfelt kindness is unfortunately rare, I would say. I mean, that depends on the context of your society and your life and your immediate people around you, but that is definitely a thing, a possibility that it's because it's rare in our lives. Ugh, seriously, like the heart aching and like the root chakra needing help. Like I've been feeling like crying, but not actually able to cry. Do you guys ever feel like that? Alfredo, did you want me to pull cards about it specifically, or do you just want to like talk about it? And you can totally add context. I'm down for the context. You cry when you feel it is true. Yeah, it's like crying is our body and mind's way. It's like you can't... Hi, Nick Peck. It's like you can't hide your emotion if you're crying. Crying happens when you are being absolutely honest, and you have to trust the people around you. At least I do. Like, I have to trust the people around me if I'm going to cry. But I also cry when I'm very mad, which I'm very grateful has not happened in a while. But yeah, I definitely cry when I have overwhelming emotions of any sort. And I mean, you could talk to a psychologist and find out the triggers in the brain, etc., etc. But it also probably has like an evolutionary background, or what's the word? Trying to hold back crying. It can be so cathartic. Yes, and that's the thing. Like Action Passion, like I want to cry and I just can't sometimes. Like I feel it coming up and I'm like, okay, I'm creating space. It's okay. You can cry, and I just like can't. It's so frustrating. I was mid-thought. I lost it. It's gone. Crying. Talking about crying. Oh, so the reason that I think that it has something to do with evolution is that if somebody is crying, then we can't, it's like, you know that they're being true. You can see that they're being authentic. You can see that they're not lying to you, and they are then vulnerable. So then we are responsive to that vulnerability. Oh my goodness. Okay. Humans have a super long developmental period compared to other mammals. Yeah. Like elephants, I think elephants can walk out, like they can walk after they're born in like a couple hours. I think horses too. It's insane. And we are infants and cannot walk after like a year sometimes. Hello, Sarkar. All right. Me, I cry all the time. That's when I bust out that one song that always makes me cry. It's a form of protection. I could see that. Like, babies have no other form of defense. Yeah, so crying is their way to say, like, I'm vulnerable. And, like, humans have this... Humans have this reaction to crying. Because it's not only the crying, it's also our reaction to crying. So, like, when we hear a baby cry, I don't want to gender or put a sex to the response, but usually when people hear a baby crying, they want it to stop. They want to do something to make the baby comfortable. Or if you're not a fan of kids, you might want to run away. But in either case, the crying is not something that we want to perpetuate in other people, in other adults, or in other children. Okay, Alfredo said, my boss at my part-time job constantly belittles me and undervalues me. I think she's a bit of a sadist and enjoys that I don't fight back. Ugh. I don't see a need to argue, but she just can't drop the... We are waiting in suspense, Alfredo. She can't drop the bad treatment. The littlest thing. Anyway, I was hurt all last night after she scolded me in the middle of servicing customers. Oh, I have opinions on scolding and reprimanding and correcting people in public. I really don't think that that's okay. So, Alfredo, I'm just going to pull, like, general for you about that, if you're cool with that. I hope that you're cool with that. If you, like, have a specific question about it, let me know. But otherwise, I'm just going to pull general about, like, your situation. Whoa. You have King of Wands and Ace of Pentacles. So fun. That was too many. Oof, important to get strong boundaries even when you're a boss. For 10 minutes straight, I didn't cry. She asked me, do you want to cry? I said, no, I don't. Okay, sounds like she's got a power complex. Super weird to ask somebody, do you want to cry? And especially in front of people. Like, that's really... Just, like I was just saying, that crying is a form of vulnerability, and that's super weird for her to ask if you want to cry. You didn't have these come out, but you had the Ten of Cups and the Knight of Cups that flipped. That's going to be some context. Yes, she has a power tripping. Yes! Becca, you know what you're talking about. Not that you do that, but, like, sounds like it's similar industry that you've been in. She's a bully for sure. So, this King of Wands, I see that as her power tripping for sure. But I don't see it as true. I see it as false. Oh, you gotta leave. Yeah, okay. So, all right, so she's this. She's not going anywhere. So the King of Wands is a very charismatic person, a very charming person, but it's a matter of what they're using that charm for, and they're very powerful. They've got a lot of fiery energy and passion behind them. And I can tell she is not using her powers for good. So there's that. And for you, so that's what I'm seeing for your boss. And for you, Alfredo, I'm seeing that you might have to drop this job, drop the money, let it fall out of your hands. Yes, it's a job. Yes, it's an income, but you need to leave. This is about leaving under the cover of darkness. And it might also be about leaving mentally, like disassociating yourself from that place. And I don't mean dissociating like in psychology, like don't dissociate from your own body, your own self, your own life, but dissociating yourself from that place. If not quitting right away, at least dissociating mentally, like not seeing yourself. Like, I've done that. I have been in jobs where somebody was doing something that I really didn't agree with, and the only way that I could get myself through the day because I wasn't in a position to quit was by telling myself, like, this is not my company. I am not running it. I am not the one who's making these decisions. No, I wouldn't be making these decisions this way. So that was the way that I got through it, and that's what I'm seeing for you, at least leaving mentally in your own mind, if not leaving entirely. You might be going back to a job. I don't know if you've been thinking about that, but I see that that's a possibility, is going back to a job that you were at. She then said, everybody I work with says bad things about me. Then I cried, and she admitted that nobody actually complained and that it was just her perspective. Still didn't cry, but was hurt she was being a jerk. Yeah, she sounds like she's on a power trip. She sounds like she's got a lot of her own growing and learning and developing to do and maturing to do, and you being there and being her punching bag is not helping the situation and is not helping you. There's no need for that in your life. You don't need that. Let's see. Oh, I just spilled my herbs all over the place. I think these are hibiscus petals. Still didn't cry, but was hurt she would lie about what my coworker said. Then she said your coworker Tara loves you and thought you were a god. Told you, that charm that's gonna go back and forth. I don't like it. Wow, sounds super manipulative and toxic. Yes! You guys get it. You're seeing it. I love that the collective is in agreement. Alfredo, you gotta get out of there some way, somehow. Because she's not gonna put down her staff. Look at this. Look at this. He's holding strong to his wand. He does not care what people think. Doing his thing. Not thinking about the consequences. Nope. Alright, so I'm putting your cards back. And if nobody has any questions, I'm going to start reading for the collective. Again, on top. Does anybody have questions for the collective? That could also be a thing. There's a flipped card in here. Ooh. The little compliment was from my coworker. The kindness was what finally broke me and made me cry, not her meanness, but that kindness. Dude, no, yes, I completely understand that, because you've just been walled up and holding it all in. Not necessarily that you wanted to cry specifically, but you just were attacked and you had a lot of pain thrown at you and you were holding your guard up and you couldn't release, even if you did subconsciously have any inkling of being hurt at the time, you weren't able to cry because you were on the defense. But then you had somebody come in and show you this act of kindness, and that's when those walls just come down and all the hurt just pours out. Honestly, I'm the same way. I don't know if anybody else does this, but if I'm feeling bad or if I'm hurting in one way, shape, or form and I'm holding it in, then somebody asks me, how are you? Or how are you doing? Or are you okay? Oh, I just break down, especially if it's like a one-on-one conversation, and especially if I know that person and trust that person, although sometimes I feel like it has happened with somebody that I didn't know very well, which was super weird for me, and I didn't want to cry in front of them. I have definitely changed my relationship to the concept of crying since then, but haven't been crying a lot. I mean, I cried on the anniversary of my dog passing. That was really hard, and still is hard. I think I accidentally requested... Oh, it didn't come up unless it popped up as a notification and I missed it. But I mean, if you want to jump on, we can chit chat, Sarah. Do you want to get your cards read and I can like watch your live reaction? It's totally fine. Anybody have any more personal questions or questions for the collective? If not, I'm going to start reading for the collective. I'll give you guys like one more minute to type out any questions, personal or collective questions. This is my last Witchy Wednesday for the year because the next 2 Wednesdays are Christmas? Yeah, Christmas and New Year's Day. I'm pretty sure. So, I'm not going to be doing lives on those days. I'm eating pot roast and green beans on the couch. I'll spare everyone. I don't mind, but I understand. That sounds good. That sounds lovely. Okay, so I did already pull one card for the collective, and my heart started aching because it's the Three of Swords. So, like I said, I've been feeling a lot of heart pains lately, a lot of heart chakra. I don't even want to say pain, just like ache, like this dull ache that's just, it seems like it's something that's been on our hearts for a while, and it's finally time for us to handle it, which is funny because it's like, okay, yes, now it's time to handle it at the end of the year when I'm trying to like close everything out, both business-wise and work-wise, and trying to like get Christmas presents and blah, 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 blah. Like, yeah, okay, now is a great time to be dealing with our heartache and our inner child work, etc., etc. So I'm going to see what we can do. So since this one has already popped out, I'm going to see what we can do about it. Like what messages we need to hear in order to help us heal this heartache that we're feeling. Okay, we're not doing too much because we have the Page of Wands in reverse. Whoa. Okay, hang on. We're going to hold on to our inner strength. I'm kind of getting that our inner child is stronger than we think that they are. Kids are resilient, I will tell you, especially if you like look into psychology of children and the trauma that children go through, and they still bounce back and their brains still develop accordingly. Kids are resilient. So it seems like we're going to have to face the fact that life is not fair, and there's not always very much that we can do about it except hold on to our own sense of strength and keep ourselves in check, not lashing out at people that don't deserve it just because we're in pain. So we have the Page of Wands here, which I see is not taking too much action or effort, but looking back at our past actions. Because if you look, I don't know what it's like to you guys, but for me, it looks like he's looking back. He's looking toward the left. Don't let a hurt heart let you hurt others. Yeah, exactly. So this lion here, it's like the lion is trying to lash out and you have to hold on to your inner strength. And I'm feeling like this has something to do with your inner child because of the white and the purity and the infinite potential here. That infinite potential of like going back and recognizing like you have the power. You can make so much happen. You are not stuck in this position. I know for me personally, a lot of my past has been coming up, and my past has been, it's trying to think of how to word this. I've been recognizing lately that those past situations are done. They're over with. There's nothing I can do about them now. I can look back and I can learn the lessons, but that's it. There's not any apologies to be made. There's not any doors that are left open or anybody wondering. Like, everything is closed. We have closure, and we might not have liked how it ended up because we have the Justice card in reverse. We might feel like our situations in our past, it wasn't fair the way that things happened to us or the things happened around us, or maybe we were acting unfair. But also watch your karma, because just because you think that something was unfair doesn't mean that you should react negatively to it, and that's where your strength is going to come in. And it's kind of like that healing yourself energy, because if you go out and attack somebody else, that's just going to come back and get you, and then you're just going to feel it again. Ooh, we have 22. 22, just say no. And then we also had 50. Oh, wait, no. 22 is timeout, and 51 is just say no. And 22 has been following me. I'm into that. I'm okay with it. So we have timeout. And this is the Oracle of E deck, right? That's what it's called? Yeah. Hi, Simi. And we have just say no. And this is no, like, to know something. So it could also be the other way of just say no, like, don't go attacking other people. And don't go trying to like open up old wounds. Like, you can look back and you can learn from it, but don't go for it. Don't start stuff. Don't open cans of worms. All right, time out. See that corner over there? It's yours and yours alone, and it's time to claim that special space. It doesn't matter what's going on out there. It doesn't matter what others are saying. Everything except your own blessed joy is now history. Stake your claim, then take a break. It is all smooth sailing now. So even though we've had a rough time in the past, take this time to channel into your inner strength. Like I did like that root chakra meditation because that's what I felt like I needed. So do whatever you feel that you need. Maybe that's working with your body. Maybe that's journaling. Maybe that's talking to a friend. But it seems like this is more internal work. So maybe even talking to a therapist, doing something more personal. It's more about you getting out what you need to get out and knowing that we're going to move on from that. We're going to set that aside. We're done with it. We're going to let it go, and we're going to move on and move forward onto bigger and better things. Leave this heartache in the past. Learn from it. Learn from it. Don't forget, because you need to know those lessons in order to not perpetuate it and keep it up and do the same thing again. You don't want to do that again. You don't want to be right back where you started. And watch your own karma, because it'll come back and get you. If you feel like you're gonna bite someone's head off, go take a time out. All right, so just say no. The divine buzz, everybody has a different phrasing for it. Being in the now, a connection with all that is, living in the current moment. Here's the thing. There are no words that can explain it, but baby, you know you can feel it. Savor it for all that it's worth. And my question was initially, what do we need to do to heal this heart pain that we're feeling? And this tells me that a lot of us know exactly what we need, and it's just a matter of actually doing the thing. So I'm going to pull one more card for this topic. Okay. The crumbling. We need to let stuff go. Okay, so this isn't only about letting stuff go. It's about letting things annihilate. Like, I'm getting very much Kali vibes here. This is an oracle card, but it reminds me very much of the Tower. If you look at it, the crumbling. So if anybody has any experience with the Tower, don't freak out. You're fine. It's totally fine to let things fall away, let them happen, because in order for you, this is just like what we were saying about this weekend, like in order for you to bring in the new blessings, in order for you to accept the gifts that are being given to you, you need to let go of the old. Let go of the old heartache, let go of the old stories, let go of the old pain. This is all about letting go. And the question is, what are you clinging to? And this tells me that we're clinging in a way, I was just going to say that. Yes, this is Tower vibes, dude. So much Tower vibes, and also Kali vibes of like destroying and destruction. Don't invoke Kali unless you're ready for that, because she will make stuff happen and destroy things and leave things in the wake. But the thing is, like, if you look at this card, even this tower or this castle, whatever this is, it might be crumbling, it might be falling to bits, and look at all this storm on the outside, but look on the inside. This all has to come down in order for these flowers and this garden and this magical place to come out and thrive. It's kind of like when you have to have fertilizer in order to have a garden. Like, it's gonna be crappy, literally, but it's in order to make way for something much better. You might have to break the eggs to make the omelets, all of those sayings that you have to crumble and root to rise. It's like the phoenix, like dropping everything, letting yourself completely annihilate the person that you thought you were, the relationships that you thought you had. All of it needs to be let go. And it says, what are you clinging to? So this tells me that there's some unhealthy relationships. And I don't necessarily mean relationships between yourself and another person. It could be your relationship to money. It could be your relationship to the place where you work. It could be your relationship to your identity, your sense of purpose, your sense of self. I'm seeing these you're clinging onto something that you need to let go of. And if you're not going to let it go, you're not going to bring in any gifts. You're just going to keep sitting and stewing in it. And honestly, the universe has a way of making you let things go, because if you are clinging and if you're holding on to it, it could be taken away from you and ripped out from under you in a way that is not comfortable. So you have a chance right now to let things go, especially with this moon phase. What is this? We're in the last quarter moon going on to our new moon. Our new moon is on Christmas, super powerful, in a week. It's got all these other things that are going on, but I'm not an astrologist, so I don't know all of the transits and what they all mean, but I do know that it's some pretty powerful energy, and it's really going to help us release. My Scorpio placements are really feeling this. Yep. Scorpios are all about releasing, letting it go. The thing about Scorpios, from my experience, is that you got to watch out that you don't crumble things before they're meant to crumble, is the other thing. All right, so I'm going to read you a little bit about the crumbling. There is a shift happening right now where anything inauthentic can no longer survive. Relationships, jobs, social structures, anything built on shaky ground is destined to tumble down. Impeachment. It's happening to bring you back home to who you truly are, both individually and to a society as whole. So you can live a life that is in alignment with who you truly are. When you're in the thick of it, it can feel like a personal attack from the universe. Have faith, because the difficult times will be your defining moments. You will be reborn in the fire. You are being called to surrender, so to stop trying to hold it all together, to loosen your grip, to let the crumbling occur. It may be difficult at first. In the end, But in the end, the sooner you let go, the sooner the rebirthing will occur. What are you trying to hold together? What are you doing your best to avoid? How are you pretending everything is okay? I know me. I avoid my root chakra work because I feel uncomfortable with that, but if you don't handle it, it's going to handle you. Ooh, that's a weird way to say that, but pretty true. Also, those definitions were on pages 40 and 41. 4 is representative of your angels being on this plane, making things happen for you, your angels, your guides, your spirits, your ancestors, whatever you ascribe to the belief of, but things are happening right now that are going to help us. Also, we have 22, which is a master number, but also 22, 2 plus 2, if you think about it that way. And that 4 is helping us move forward from this 3. We have this 3 of swords that's hurting our hearts. We have a lot of heartache going on. And then the 41 for that definition was 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 is major changes that are coming. We have 51, which is major changes. And then 6 is like, there's a word, but it's not coming through, and I don't want to get it wrong, so I'm going to leave that. But it's in this realm of moving forward. We need to move forward. We need to let this stuff go in order to move forward. We're dropping, we're letting it go, we're leaving it all in 2019. All those like memes and posts, and people are like, oh, doesn't 2019 feel like super awesome and super terrible at the same time? It's because you need to have crumbling and things need to fall apart in order for us to put them back together again. Kind of like when you're cleaning your room, and then I know in my life this is true, and I've heard people say it's got to get worse before it gets better. It's definitely true. So we have to let go of what we think we know. That's the other part. We have to let go of what we think we know and make room for what we actually intuitively know. We're kind of, I feel like some of us are going on autopilot right now. Like we're just living our lives and we think everything is going according to plan, and we're clinging to these things, but we're not realizing that we're actually harming ourselves by not letting the universe to flow, letting things to happen in their own time, being open to receiving gifts, etc., etc. And I'm starting to feel like I'm repeating myself, so let me see. I'm going to give you guys a couple more minutes, see if anybody has any questions to put through. Get some water, because I have not had enough water during this live today. But I've got my humidifier on, so that's good. I think it's about that time. I'm gonna sign off. So, to sum up, everybody do their shadow work. Focus on what needs to be healed. Allow yourself to feel your feelings. Allow what needs to crumble. Let it go. Let it fall away. We're taking stock. It feels so weird because I know I'm not going to be doing a Witchy Wednesday. I might still come on live. to be honest, I might still come on live, just not going to be on Wednesdays for the next 2 weeks. So you guys can always still book a reading with me. You can DM me, or you can just send me a tip, and in the tip include your email and whatever you need. Yeah. I'll see you guys in the new year with new stuff happening. I don't know why I'm acting like this is like the end of the world. It's not. It's not even the end of the year. It's not time yet. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.